Hey Brandon.
What's going on, bud?
Nothing, bro. How you doing? How's that little vacay you had?
Doing well, man. Yeah. I went up to Orlando with a girlfriend and met Frank from 𝐓𝐢𝐩𝐻𝐈 up there, and then John Smolin and his girlfriend. So we go to school with John. So it was nice to go up there. Got a lot of filming done, and just had some fun. Played a lot of golf. So a lot of cool videos coming from Balanced Performance Golf here shortly, as well as 𝐓𝐢𝐻𝐈 So we got
Awesome.
that to look forward to. But how's the snow treating you?
It's great, man. Supposed to get a couple more inches tonight. I can't wait to shovel tomorrow. I'm
Oh,
excited.
I'll try and send some sunshine your way.
Do you have any one of those videos gonna get released? Right now?
I'm not sure.
What's
I
been-
have one coming out tomorrow, actually, I believe.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I see you've been editing them.
Yep. So tomorrow morning, the same time this one airs, Wednesday, 8 a.m., I will have a vlog go up as well from
Awesome.
the course vlog. So yeah, pretty cool. I shot a couple under par for that one, so that was nice.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
All right.
so yeah, here is podcast number 8 from the Tipped Out podcast. And we're just going to go ahead and catch up with each other and catch the listeners up. We took a week off for that little vacation I had, so now we're back into it and going to cover some topics. So what do we got first, brother?
Yeah, so I think the first thing I want to talk about, I just need to personally vent a little bit, is TikTok videos, man. Or I guess it's not just TikTok videos, content I posted on Instagram as well, but really, I just need to get outside, man. It's tough. Inside's tough. There's no space. Actually, once I get to the house at school, it'll be better because there'll be more space. I can actually do things.
It'll be a little bit. That is a big struggle, bro. Like that's why I feel so fortunate that my parents moved down here to Florida and that like the snow is just not it, bro. We're trying to build a career in golf and fitness in just a good lifestyle, and man, the snow just kicks your ass, dude. And it just stuck inside and it's snowy, it's cold. A lot of bad energy and bad attitudes usually come from that, unless you like the winter and the snow, which I did when I was younger, hence the hockey sticks. But now it's a different kind of stick, and you need some short green grass for that. So
well said. And then I feel I content wise, I feel like sometimes I reach too far, like I try to dump too much into a video.
100%.
It's tough. I might have to start making some where I speak directly as opposed to putting in little edits, but I love being able to have the words there and a nice song in the background. I feel like so it just makes the video better than.
So I feel like from personal experience and like the trial and error, I think like we just talked about the other night, you've seen the videos that do the best are the videos that are short, sweet. It's a real quick tip or it's a close up and it's pretty so sometimes
usually pretty simple, straightforward.
Like simple, straightforward, and quick. People are generally lazy and they want change in results, and that's why most instructors give a band-aid fix to a player because that's all they come there looking for. They're not coming there to do 2 to 5 lessons a week and get better. They want
that's fair.
So with that being said, I think you're on the right track with that. So do a couple videos where it's just the simple stuff, and then if you want to go deeper and talk and then throw some stuff up, definitely do it. And I think having multiple platforms, I think what you're doing, Instagram and TikTok right now, that's still 2.
Yeah, I actually haven't been able to post on Insta in a little while because the app I've been using to edit my videos to fit the Instagram platform isn't working right now, but I will.
Amazing.
What's that?
I said, yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah, bro. It just crashes every time I open it. I've deleted it, brought it back up. So, Capwing, fix your app, bro.
Shout him out, man. Target. But
I
think that's the best thing is the different platforms call for different lengths of things. Like YouTube, like I filmed some videos this morning about a workout. Just quick, simple, going to be a nice swipe workout on Instagram. I could have done the same thing in a follow along form for 25 to 45 minutes, and that would have been for YouTube. So I think that's where you got to kind of find what platform is like best for what algorithm fits, the quick and easy or the long video, or, at the end of the day, we have to not care about views and follows. And really, if we feel like we need to put some strong, solid information out there, do a longer video, and the people that need to see it will see it. And I feel like that's how it goes. Some, like you said the other day, some of your best videos don't get that much views or traction.
Clout.
Yeah, and that's because a lot of people, 3-5 seconds, there's no drill, there's no help, swipe.
Yeah.
People are just very quick and easy, and that's what platforms like TikTok and, the Instagram Reels have done for us now, is it programmed us to, like, look at it for a couple seconds and flip. So
Yep.
For our information in that quick, but it's
you might need to go back when you're editing this and look at my facial expression when you said people are very quick and easy. Whoa. All right, so I want to get right into things because I spoke with James Darcy recently.
So give a little background on James Darcy real quick for those who don't know.
Perfect. I don't know that much about him. I go through. He grew up in Long. No, okay.
I just the Delhi.
I know.
Yeah.
Our connection to him is he is a Delhi alum, and he came back to do a lecture and kind of just an educational talk to us.
Yeah, they called it the Swing Summit.
That's what it was. The Swing Summit. And he was one of the guys that came back, very knowledgeable, really passionate about teaching, and he kind of I liked what he was talking about, and I ended up talking to him there and actually kind of getting a lesson from him, and we have stayed in pretty good contact since. And then just the other day, I saw one of his videos on Instagram and didn't know it said verticals, and I didn't know what he meant by verticals, so I asked him what it was. It's Darcy Effect Golf, by the way. And or is it just Darcy Effect?
I think it's Darcy Effect Golf. Either way, it'll be up on the screen. It's been up.
Yeah.
Danny talked about him. It's up right now, and it's gonna go away right now.
And he so then he called me and was surprised I didn't know it, and so then we had a nice conversation. And then he told me to look into Mike Adams, which I have done a fair amount. I've only really looked on YouTube and haven't seen a ton, but one of the videos I found was very interesting, and it was about grips, how your grip affects the way your arm would work in your golf swing and how you release the golf club. So essentially, if you have a stronger, more underneath grip, there's the three grips. These are the three grips: stronger, more underneath, kind of come in from the side as a more neutral grip, and then a weaker, more over the top grip. And then how that affects kind of how your arm would work through the golf ball. So weaker over the top, more on top of the club is a more covering feeling.
And that's going to be correct. That's for your trail hand, the three you just
trail hand, yes, trail hand. Yep, and then as the total opposite would then be a more under strong grip is going to be more of a arm extension and like kind of work under inside and release out, and then side is kind of in between those. So like essentially weaker would be more of a swing left is what I took from it. I don't know if that was exactly correct.
I would kind of think so, right? Because that weaker trail hand, yeah, I mean, it really depends on, I'll have to watch the video. But yeah, from my understanding, that weaker trail arm would make you want to swing a little more left, but then you need more of a forward press or de-lofting of the club to kind of, square that face. But yeah, I'd have to look into that. I mean, it seems somewhat complex because then I feel like my brain runs into like what shot shape and
yeah.
But
to me, it was when I watched it, it was I thought it was pretty simple, and I just liked it because I did the, if you kind of sit there and feel your arm in that weaker, like, or excuse me, stronger under position, you wouldn't do this with a covering kind of cover of the golf ball. You would, you feel more natural and correct to let it kind of come in and kind of extend and throw out, as opposed to if it's really, and then if you do it with a really weak position, that doesn't quite feel like the right move, right?
Right.
As opposed to,
You talk about release,
it makes sense.
like release, like kind of like we spoke about in the past.
Yeah, it was
kind of a roll or a hold off.
It wasn't necessarily a roll or a hold off. It was more of how the way your that arm is then gonna move in space, kind of. So
Okay, yeah.
you're not really matching. Does that make sense to you? It's not when you're here and your arm set up in this position. You're kind of like your joints and ligaments are. It seemed like it's called biodynamics, I believe you call it, are more efficient working than this way, or then the more cover it. And then if you're here, it's easier to cover. That's what it seemed like to me.
So is there one style he promotes or would rather someone use, or is it kind of individual?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Is there a style in that he was describing that's like he suggests or promotes, or is it pretty individualistic?
It was individualistic. It was very more, if you have someone who likes to grip it like this, then you need to teach them that their arm then needs to work more.
Yeah, because that's what I'm starting to do. And like you said, ironically enough, our minds somehow just work the same way. And usually you and I are either studying the same thing or working on the same thing in our game. And it's always after a little break from not talking, we come right back and it's, hey, I was looking at this. And ironically, doing the same thing. So I was noticing my trail elbow. I got to that one-piece takeaway here, and I'm more closely associated with maybe a wolf swing where my arms are, my hands go back naturally, but then that lead hand turns down, the glove hand turns down, knuckles down, and the club is somewhat very shut, and it's almost lifting. So my trail arm was kind of like moving back and then turning. So I have to look into arm structure definitely, because it's going to play into grip.
Yeah.
And then just how you naturally set up. So I could be either on the right path or, almost being counterproductive if I have a pretty neutral grip and then a soft right elbow and then the arm, doesn't come in. So that's a very cool topic. I definitely want to do more research on that and then
totally
do maybe a more in-depth pod on that. So that's cool.
And then as far as if we go to arm structure, you just mentioned there's two videos we're going to talk about a little bit that you have found sent to me. The GG arm structure, which ties in very much to what we just talked about, which I'd like to see what you have to say about it. I thought it was very interesting and it's very cool and definitely stuff I hadn't necessarily thought of. So impact is the only position that really truly matters in the golf swing, and all you need to do is, once you know and feel and your body understands what it's like to be in that position, it will be much more easy to get back to that, and it cuts out all the unneeded movements that aren't helping you get back to that position. Essentially.
And that's why I think don't quote me on this, but I believe that's where Matthew Wolf's trigger came from, where he does that little move. Gankis wanted him to feel what impact was like. So it's a little slow open of the hips before he even takes the club away, and that forward press with it. So he's feeling impact. The handle leading the club face, and then the hips being slightly open, shoulders square, and that's his little quirky start, but it works, and that's basically essentially what the video was talking about. Is nothing else matters if you're basically squared impact, if that's what you're trying to do. So, but no, it's a great way to think about it, and especially for beginner golfers. I just made a post on Balance Performance Instagram the other day talking about my range session with my girlfriend Courtney, and that's basically how I started. I set her up with a driver, and I was like, let's start with an iron or a wedge, and She just wanted to hit the driver. So it's like, screw it. We'll start with that. Started with that, and I just had her feel impact, a little, the club square. We want to be hitting up on it and just feel the body positions. And then had her start small, slow, almost swing within her means of the range ropes, those two lines, and back and through almost like a chipping motion with the driver. And then from there, we just got her in a solid position. I just said, swing.
By the way, that swing looked great. The first one, the smaller one, there's a lot of good things. She naturally just lagged the club behind her and just released it into the golf ball, which is all you can ask for.
We saw greatly in Pennsylvania when we worked there together that one of the biggest struggles that younger golfers, amateur golfers, new golfers, especially younger, weaker golfers, is that if the clubs aren't right for them and they're too heavy, they lose posture just to get the club back or to turn it back. And so that's what she was doing a little bit. It was an older Callaway, like Big Bertha driver. She ended up liking it. I just had her choke down on it, but it just felt kind of heavy. The shaft wasn't right, of course. I think it was a male regular flex driver. And then I had her try mine. Didn't like it. It's cut down. It's newer, but it's an extra stiff shaft. So she didn't hit that one very well. Even though sometimes a stiffer shaft will help. What am I trying to say? A developing golfer.
This is the Jim Lee's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it all depends, but no, she was hitting it well and wicked quick learner, man. Props to her for sure though. Like, it's just tough. It's tough to teach a wife or a girlfriend golf, but no, half her. She did great. She listened well and she hit the ball well. I missed her best swings with recording them, but she was hitting it good and definitely it's tough. Just get them in a good body position, and if they're an athlete, just give them a couple swings. They'll kind of figure it out, and then a little more coaching and guidance. But honestly, I just threw the range bucket and a shaft through it because she was close to it. I had her back up, then I had her get closer to the club, kind of feel what she liked best. And what was happening was she'd tip her hands out a little bit over the top, like most golfers do, and then she would just miss it to the outside. So I was like, back up and try it, and it only made it worse. So it was a matter of her getting and finding a comfortable hand path to then just meet the club back to square, because when you're too far from it or too close to it, then we really have to manufacture a swing. It's not natural. It's not a good path or plane movement. So once we found that for her, she was making good contact, and it was good. It was nice just to get out there, and that's the biggest thing. A new golfer, whether you're a coach or you're the new golfer or you're helping a friend, the biggest thing is just have them get the ball airborne. Don't let them scoop at it or anything, but have them make contact. That's the biggest thing. Even when we're working with wedges or irons, I usually tee the ball up a little bit. It helps contact. It's a little cleaner. Just a little more consistency. So I even do that when I practice myself, when I'm trying to work on something new. Short, small, slow swings off a tee. It definitely is a good starting point. So a couple good takeaways from our range session the other day. We'll go through.
Awesome.
We'll hit one more topic, whatever we got here, and then we will say goodbye to podcast 8.
I think the thing I found most interesting in that 30-minute video that we were talking about, if you play golf, you need to watch this, was the way that they described the forces with the lag force and was it perpendicular force or something? I honestly can't remember the second one. The first one seemed to matter more to me.
Yep.
So essentially there is, I love to talk about this. Your left arm, lead arm, is an extension of the golf club. Yep. And is a main lever, and that's your central point. That's what the club swings around. And what a lot of people do is let that club fully release and extend. So your fully extended before the golf ball. So you've lost your lag and your lag force. And it was really cool. I talked about how lag force actually helps you control the club face. And that's why it's so important to have your hands forward, not only for cleanness of strike purposes, so you're hitting the golf ball first, but also for stableness of club face. Because as soon as we get fully extended here and the club's right in line with the arm it's releasing, the way the club is built, then the club face is then going to turn over because the weight of the club isn't directly in line with the shaft. It's actually out in the center of the club face more.
Yeah.
So as soon as you kind of have lost control, because then it's fully extended and the club face would shut very quickly. So I thought that was very interesting how really the way we control the club face is through just the natural force of it falling behind us and holding it in place there. Then we run it into the ball, and then after that, we don't have to worry about it. Then we can release it, and that's what it closes down.
Yep. No, that's so crucial. We can dive into it, make it as simple or as complex as possible, and that just goes down to the player. You know, if you like the analytics, if you like the numbers and the TrackMans, or if you just want the coach to tell you what to do and you do it, or you like to do research on your own, like we do even. So many cool aspects of the game, and especially they can be found on YouTube. So don't hesitate just to surf around YouTube and learn. And by learning, I don't mean take every bit of information you see and apply that to your own golf game, because it's not always work that way. But no, that is a great video just to learn. Find out a little bit about your own game, and same thing with the GG video on Instagram. Solid. Always finding pieces of information to help us with the game and better understand.
Sometimes you get enough pieces of information and then you start to see connections with them and stuff like that, which I think is the coolest part, where I go, oh, that makes more sense with the video I watched 2 weeks ago or whatever. But
definitely, no, that's why I read the books. That's why I watch the videos, and that's how I get to make them, is just from learning different things and trial and error. Because I see a video about, my slice fix, and I don't have a slice, I might go out and try it just to see if that would work with a client, or if I like it to teach it. But it doesn't mean I have to apply it to my own game. So almost goes for anything, Try it out. It might not be for you, and that's all right. But that is going to wrap up podcast number 8. And right before, we're going to go to Danny, and he's going to tell us our takeaways of today's pod.
I think one of the biggest takeaways is understanding the importance of relationships. So a lot of times with anything you begin to learn, understand, it's more important to understand the base and the root of the material, as opposed to just saying, oh, this is the one way I've seen to do it. This is the way I got to do it, because that doesn't always work, especially not in the golf swing. So just like those Mike Adams grips and how your arm should work, there's a lot of that in the golf swing. So you need to, if you really want to improve and own your own golf swing, then you need to understand all those relationships.
Definitely.
And then impact is very important. And I'll send it over to you for the last one.
Perfect. Yeah. So the last piece of today's talk is just going to be differentiating general information, which is just knowledge we've taken in about the game, about our swing, about ourselves, and then what is for our game. So it goes back to me just talking about that, slice fix. If I don't slice the ball, I don't need to see something on slice fix. But I might want to learn about it in case I ever slice. I want to help someone, or especially in my case, I'm an instructor and I need to know about all topics, all fixes, faults, and flaws. So know the difference between information for yourself, your game, and just general information you've taken in. And I think that'll kind of help a lot of golfers clarify that storm that goes on in their head when they're standing over the ball and the countless things they think. So
yeah.
So definitely. So that was a solid talk, man. It was great to see you and talk to you again. And I'm excited to get back up to school here soon. Finish out senior year in the snow, but back with the boys. So that'll be great.
Totally, man. I'm excited as well. Hope it comes soon.
All right, brother. pleasure speaking with you. And that's been podcast number 8 from the Tipped Out Gang.
Take care.
See you, bud.